Okay, welcome back to Hanging with Mangg, episode 389. We are playing Conan Exiles. This is the latest survival game that some friends and I have started to play. We just started, so we're really not far at all. And we're playing with some mods. I gotta say that, like, you know, we stopped playing 7 Days to Die recently. We had a lot of fun with that, actually. We spent a lot of time with 7 Days to Die. But the main problem with 7 Days to Die is that it was just kind of like, it's just a very janky game. You know, there's a lot of, like, performance issues and just kind of bugs and just... It's hella fun regardless, but it was annoying, like, especially with, like, lag. Rubber banding. Oh my goodness gracious. Like, playing on a dedicated server. Just the... driving in a vehicle, it would just rubber band constantly, and you just, like, snip, snap back forward, or, like, teleport and glitch into, like, buildings, and it's just, oh, God. Still fun. But yeah, it was rough. So I was like, okay, well, let's start playing. Let's start playing Conan Exiles, because that's, like, basically a finished game. It should have, I mean, it should look and run pretty well, I would think. A lot of people enjoy Conan Exiles. Looks... The little time that I spent with it, it seemed to be alright. And so far, it does seem to run a lot better than 7 Days to Die, but... Something about... Something about combat. I think the main issue is that I'm playing this at the same time that I'm playing through Elden Ring. And Elden Ring's combat is, like, you know, as good as it gets. For, like, a third-person, like, action game like this, with melee combat. Like, that is the melee combat you dream of. And this, in comparison, seems so, like, I don't know, kind of floaty and janky and just, I don't know, it's just not the same. It's just not nearly as good. I don't know if that's specifically because we're playing on a server. Maybe there's, like, some lag involved, but yeah, it could certainly be better. But I like the setting of the game. It's definitely a breath of fresh air. And overall, I mean, it does run well and it looks good. And I'm looking forward to, like, fighting bosses, although, you know, I might tend to go range just because that's less janky. I'm definitely dead. So we're only playing with, like, a dozen mods. Most of them are, like, building related. to assist in making the building system feel better. One of the mods, though, that we're playing with is PvE Ambush. And this causes, occasionally, at random intervals, for players to be ambushed by groups of enemies. On paper, it sounded very cool. In practice, I fear it's just far... I don't know, it's broken, it's just crazy. Like, basically, anytime I get an ambush, it's pretty much a guaranteed death. Part of that is due to the jankiness of the combat compared to Elden Ring, but if it were like Elden Ring and I got suddenly ambushed by, like, 3 knights or something, I mean, at the same time, it could be... If I didn't have a horse... no, it'd probably be doable, but anyways. Enemies just don't, like... I don't know, they don't get staggered as easily, I guess, in this game. Like, everyone just has hyper armor. I don't know. I just think how cool would this game be if it had Souls combat, like, as good as that, and which is not, like, undoable. It's not impossible for another studio. I mean, you have Souls-like that are pretty good. You know, Mortal Shell had really good combat, and Surge 2 had really good combat. So, I don't know. I mean, if I try and... I will just get obliterated by these screw. Look, they do not get staggered. They just do not. And they just are relentless.
I will feast upon you.
Yeah, it's just... I don't know. I also have it set so that enemies do 1.3 times normal damage. Which probably doesn't help the case. I'm not sure why I went with that. I think that was someone's recommendation, but yeah. I guess I could turn that off. Let's see, combat, NPC damage multiplier. Oh, I'm not allowed to, even though I'm an admin? I'm definitely an admin. I guess the admin doesn't let you just alter... Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay. But hey, at least there's nudity. Hey, Sebastian. Look at this guy just sitting in the water. Anywho, enough about Conan Exiles. I could have played Elden Ring, but I didn't want to show any spoilers or anything, so... So this week on this channel, for the next number of weeks, it's just going to be Elden Ring and Triangle Strategy. Which, hey, at least it's 2 brand new games, you know? It's not like Dragon Quest 4 plus King's Quest 3 that I'm uploading all week. So, I think it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good setup. This is a very satisfying arrow. Kapaya!
Man flesh.
Actually, I'm a woman.
Your heart. I will drink your blood. I will feast upon you. Feast upon you.
Fuck. It's just, I can't. I just can't. Makes me angry. Yeah. Fuck. And part of it is I'm playing with keyboard and mouse, which I really don't want to. And the combat is better with the controller. I have tried it. But then I found that everything else in the game is worse with a controller. Like, all the UI stuff is just so much more tedious, and I don't know. Oh, God. Really a rock in a hard place. Main problem with this game is how dumb the AI is. Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that, but at the same time, they don't have to be that smart to just slaughter your ass. Yeah, I think the main issue right now is I'm playing it at the same time as Elden Ring, and it's a very unfair comparison. I don't know. Is this guy done? I'm holding him. I dropped a priest in a bag. I mean, what is... I don't even know. Not even sure. It's weird. So yeah, Elden Ring, Triangle Strategy, it's all on the way, don't worry. We're done with Fallout 1, which means that I'm done uploading Fallout games for a little while until we have some more breathing room. And we are hey, Durden. So we're done with Fallout. We're done with Cataclysm. I still have a few more episodes. A few more videos. Like, I want to say like three. It was like three videos. For another little playthrough. But, you know, we'll upload that when we get to it. It is pitch black during the night, and I don't like that. So yeah, pretty much just Elden Ring, Triangle Strategy, and occasionally I will be dropping Mangg plays the best games of all time. Those are just going to be sprinkled throughout. Recorded 6 of them now, I think. And I'm definitely going to be recording plenty more because I'm enjoying that series. So you can look forward to that. On Wednesday we did... Actually, no, Wednesday I didn't do variety stream because just kind of ran out of time and then I kind of forgot about it and blah, blah, blah. So I did it Thursday and I did City Skyline because I'm in sort of a city builder mood, I guess. And then on Saturday, yesterday, we did Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 again, which was pretty fun. We did win, so we were victorious. That was nice. Next Saturday for Two Brothers Play, we're thinking right now of doing Anno 1800, which has built-in co-op. So that should be pretty interesting. We both own the game. I've spent a little bit of time with it, so I know all the basics, but I don't think Lego's fired it up at all. I'm hoping that he does like the tutorial or whatever during the week. Save us a little bit of hassle. But right now, that's the plan. We started too late last night. You were out by then. Yeah, that's what Lego figured. Yeah, there were some issues. For one, like, my car had trouble. So Lego had to sort that out for me. And then after that, DoorDash... Fucking DoorDash. I don't know. Occasionally, they just have this issue where they don't show any restaurants available. Like, nothing. Like, as if there were only 3 restaurants in the state, is basically how the app shows it. And their website. Like, the website shows the exact same information. So, like, literally, it's just unusable sometimes. So that's great. I guess you lose out on my money, DoorDash. So then I was like, okay, well, Uber Eats is showing everything. Maybe we can just place an order through Uber Eats. And I did. And then I realized, well, I don't think anyone around here uses Uber Eats. Everyone around here that I know is a DoorDash person. So we gave it like 15 minutes and there were no drivers. So we said, fuck it. And Lego just went and picked up T-Bell. So that took another like 20 minutes or so. So yeah, we didn't start till like 12:50. 1, really. So yeah, it was a pretty late night. Part of the issue is that he just, you know.
Come into the light, shy shadow.
He's just never been a very punctual person for anything. So, you know, I have the whole Saturday where I don't do anything. We could start, you know, at any time, but he just puts everything off and we don't start until very late, usually. But, what are you gonna do? So yeah, Anno 1800 next week. Most likely, unless something else crops up. Shit.
Man flesh.
Yes, man flesh.
You! I will feast upon you! York will have your soul!
It's just fucked. Fuck. Just really don't like combat in this game. It seems so ineffectual compared to Elden Ring. I hate it. I guess the lesson is just take on one at a time, but even then, I can never seem to take down one person without taking a bunch of damage. Shields are not that potent, it seems. Yeah. A variety stream for this Wednesday. Okay, I mean, there you go. So,
I will feast upon you!
I guess, like, I took 22 damage normally. I take 2 damage from putting my shield up. But he doesn't get, like, staggered at anything from me blocking. And they just seem to have, like, unlimited stamina. So they never seem to run out, and they just combo out attack after attack. Just seem to swig these fucking aloe extracts like they're Coca-Cola. Variety stream, there was a game that came out this week called Soulash. It's been in development for a while. It's one of those games made by a single person. And it's a 2D turn-based rogue, open world rogue light. No, rogue light. Sorry. Not a roguelite. See, this is the ambush mod being broken. Like, that should not happen to me. I should not have to deal with multiple ambushes simultaneously. That's fucked. So I feel like I have to remove that mod. I think it's just something's fundamentally broken there. Like, you'll go for a long time without an ambush, and then you'll just get hit with 2 or 3 at once, which happened to me earlier. So that's why I feel like an ambush is just guaranteed death. Potentially multiple deaths. Oh, look, there's another one. And they're just right next to you, ambush, a fucking killer. Oh my god. It's insane. I have to remove that mod. It seemed so promising, but I was assuming the combat would not be janky, and I wouldn't get hit with multiple ambushes simultaneously. So this is all great. This is all fantastic. Soulash. So it's an open world, turn-based, 2D, my god, roguelike. It's, I mean, that sounds right up my alley, right? It's not quite as robust or expansive or anything like that as Cataclysm. This is being developed by a single person. It's not like sort of crowdsourced, kind of anyone can develop for it. So it is... It's very combat focused. There isn't... It's just insane! What the fuck? What the fuck? I hate it. I hate it so much. This reminds me of that RimWorld playthrough I did that one time where I had that mod that just caused me to be attacked. I got attacked like 5 times daily. Because the mod was just fucked. That's basically what's happening here. Loot your fucking... this game. I don't know if there's anything like this, though. Like, are there any other good, like, open world, third-person action-adventure survival games that you can play with, like, a group of people? Is there anything similar to Conan Exiles? There's a lot of first-person stuff, but Third person seems a little trickier. Yeah, so Soul Ash, very combat focused. There isn't much else to do aside from just roam around and find combat opportunities. I played it the other day for like 30 minutes. And I died. I would definitely died. It does not seem like an easy game, but it's probably good for a stream, so I'm thinking we'll do that. What the fuck is this thing, and why is it here? Playing Ark in third person. That sounds like something. My problem with Ark is just the sheer time. Oh, it's apparently not even my most recent corpse. Where the hell did I die? God damn it. This is just so fucked. The sheer time that is required for you to put into Ark. Like, when I originally, you know, when we started playing Ark together and stuff, I was like, oh, well, there's a bunch of bosses and stuff, and we can train dinosaurs and we can go kill bosses. And later on, you know, I looked into, like, what does it take to actually kill a boss in Ark? And it's like, oh, you'll probably want, like, 12 T-Rexes, and it's like, what the fuck? I don't have time to get to fucking 12 T-Rexes. Why am I going to spend that much time with this game just to kill one boss? I mean, Ark is cool, but not that cool. So anywho, that's what's going on this week on this channel. Mainly Elden Ring and Triangle Strategy. I have a lot of Elden Ring videos. And I'm not even... I can't even give a percentage of, like, where I'm at in the game, because I really have no idea. I still have only killed Godric. So I've only killed the first, like, of the major bosses. And I haven't even gone into, like, the second major dungeon. It's just massive. It's just a massive game. And I'm choosing to do basically everything on camera. So, yeah. It's gonna be a lot of videos. And then there's just these archers and just... Oh, my God. Well, that's delightful. Let me just do single player. I had a save started. I just want to see if the server is responsible at all for being kind of janky. I was killed by imp. Okay, I believe it. Don't seem to... Oh, I don't even know where my corpse is. Oh, okay. Over on the Exploring series, released a video on SCP... I started that sentence without thinking about it. Let me think. Nikki Knows. That's what it was. Yeah, Nikki Knows. Really liked that SCP. I think people that watched that video really liked it. It wasn't a booming video. It didn't destroy all my metrics or anything like that, but it was a good one. Then I worked on 4242 Foundations. Tread on me. Tread on me. So foundations is basically the Foundation finds out they essentially find like a labyrinth underneath a church that can send them back into the past. And it sends you back to other labyrinths underneath different places of worship across the world from different time periods. And all these locations are being sort of watched over by individuals or groups that are focused on containing the anomalous. So they're basically like Foundation predecessors and stuff. And in a startling turn of events, the Foundation decides to work with these people and like share knowledge and share, you know, like with this Japanese clan, they share amnestics and stuff, and the Japanese clan lends out their ninjas to the Foundation. So they're all working together across time to help contain the anomalous. I mean, overall, it's a very weird SCP. Like, it's so kind of against everything we normally associate with the SCP Foundation. Oh, that's a perfect corpse. Perfect. I did have clothes. Oh, and I had weapons. Okay. Alright, I need to make, like, a sword. Oh, cancel that. Cancel. Ah, damn. Just make a sword. And I want to make a shield. So I can see how similar it is. Okay. Yeah, it's a very weird SCP, because you'd think the Foundation would just be like, what? Anomalies existing, and they're not in control of the Foundation, even across a different time period? Fuck that! Get amnesticized, you're done. You know, at the very least, they wouldn't, like, pain, or they wouldn't, like, help out, essentially civilians in helping contain the anomalous. You know, they'd take over the operation, or, you know, something like that. It's just weird, to see the Foundation being so friendly, essentially. So it's certainly not one of my favorite SCPs. It's a cool concept, but it seems just so oddly written. Alright, we're gonna take on these bastards. This is on single player, we don't have to worry about any servers.
Taste death! Gods, take you!
Fuck. No, it's still no Elden Ring. I mean, yeah, okay. Okay, this game. So that's that. I think this next week I'm going to be working on a video all about the Bellerverse, which I covered briefly in my canon video. So we're going to have a dedicated video for that. It's not going to cover everything in the Bellerverse, but it's obviously going to go into far more detail.
Hey.
And that's that. I have a lot of work to do, though. I need to start working on my April Fool's video, which is not going to be an excruciating amount of work, but it's something I got to do now. And then I also need to start recording Secret of Evermore for the next video game video. So that should be good. You saw the Batman yesterday. I saw the Batman on Friday, and it was fantastic. Dare I say the best Batman movie. It was very good. It was long. I mean, I think it probably could have lived with being a little shorter. You know, like when it's 3 hours, it's all right. When it's something like Avengers Endgame or something like that, where it's just like there's so much things to put in there, so many characters, and you just like it's just like a fucking thrill ride from start to finish with how many events and things there are. Like, you know. But the Batman is basically just like a murder mystery. You know. It's a very good one, but 3 hours seems a little excessive for a murder mystery. I don't think the movie Seven is 3 hours. And that's basically what this is. It's Seven with Batman. You liked he was pretty unlikable for the majority of it? Yeah. Like, that's definitely not the charming, charismatic Bruce Wayne. He's got room to grow. But that was sort of the theme of the movie, is that this was a very early Batman that has a lot of room to grow. He's got a lot of things to learn. But yeah, I really liked that it was basically just a detective movie. I mean, it was like basically a standard like detective movie in a lot of scenes. It's just one guy's in a Batman outfit. But otherwise, like, Gotham was presented in a very cool way. Like, I think it's the most unique kind of Gotham has been since the first Batman movie with Tim Burton. It's just like, you know, it's not really a real city. And, like, it shouldn't be presented as a real city. Jeffrey Wright was awesome as Gordon. I said afterwards that it was like the second best movie about the Zodiac killer that I've ever seen. Because the Riddler was basically the Zodiac killer. Now that's what they were going for, I think. Yeah, just a very, like, dark, kind of atmospheric movie. Like, very gritty. But still enjoyable. Like, you know, like, they were saying, like, Zack Snyder and stuff like that. He was going for a dark, kind of gritty take on DC. And it's like, no, this is a dark, gritty take on DC. And it's good. Like, that was distinctively not anything that would come out of, like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that was good. Gotham finally looked like an actually terrible place that's falling apart for once. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it was just good. I definitely recommend it. And my dad beforehand, I mean, my dad is always like, you know, he's the ultimate contrarian. He doesn't really like anything. He's like, oh, they've ruined Batman. The trailer, he looks evil and deranged. And by him meaning deranged, it's basically just him wearing, like, eyeliner. Because my dad's a real boomer. And then, like, the evil part, I don't know. I never saw, I don't think, a trailer for this movie. So I can't really say what he was talking about with the evil. But I assume the trailer showed, like, a bunch of him punching people, I would imagine. And it looks like, you know, more violent than, like, the kind of cartoonish Christian Bale Batman fight scene. And I imagine the trailers just made the movie look, you know, kind of dark and gritty, which is what it was. But his sole focus was that they made Batman evil. He's killing people, which is a very funny thing. I don't know what was in the trailer that made him think that he's, like, killing people. Because if you actually watch the movie, and I don't think this is a spoiler, he's very anti-killing people. I mean, that's how Batman is. It's just, this is the first Batman movie that really made it, like, clear that he's quite against killing criminals. So, yeah, afterwards I told my dad, I was like, it's basically just a dark kind of murder mystery. And, you know, Batman definitely does not kill people. Batmobile scene was excellent. Oh, yeah. And I was reading a Reddit discussion about it, about the movie, and a lot of people were praising, like, the sound design in the Batmobile scene. Of just, like, you know, it was like their seats were shaking and, you know, like, oh my god, it was incredible. I think my theater is shit. I think the theater that we go to is just, like, nothing was shaking in my seat, I guarantee. And I didn't even find... I think the sound design in my theater that I go to is just not good. Because nothing was really memorable about the sound in the movie. But I feel like it could have been. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my own theater set up. It's not really going to be perfect for acoustics either, but I think we'll be able to shake some seats at least. Yeah, so I definitely recommend Batman. Even if you don't normally like Batman movies or you don't normally like comic book movies, it's like just a dark kind of murder mystery, and it's good. Sound of the Batmobile is frightening. Yeah, I mean, it was just really... I feel bad now. I feel bad. I wish I could have seen it in, like, IMAX or something like that. Because my theater was just like, yep, that sounds like a car revving up. No doubt about it. But yeah, like the whole opening of the movie with him kind of like monologuing and showing all the criminals just like terrified of the darkness because they see the bat symbol in the sky. And it's just like, oh god, yeah, this is fucking Batman, dude. Like that's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to just be like terrifying. I mean, that's the whole point. And I don't know if Christian Bale's Batman was ever terrifying. So yeah, they really did a great job. Yeah, so I was going to talk about the Batman, so I'm glad we got that covered. The only other thing I really wanted to talk about was Magic the Gathering. I talked about this on Two Brothers Play last night, but so the you know, we've been playing a lot of cube format. We've been playing with a bunch of cubes. I've got a couple, and my friend has one. You know, these lists, these sets of 360 cards or more that you divvy up, you randomize, and you draft in kind of a randomized format. And you build your deck at the table, and then you play each other with the decks that you make out of this cube. So I wanted to look into getting a Commander Cube, which is a cube focused around the game mode of Commander, where you have basically a larger deck than normal, you have more health than normal, and you have a Commander card that you start with, like, out of play. And you can repeatedly summon your Commander onto the battlefield. And your whole deck has to kind of be based around your Commander in some sense. And it's the most popular format for Magic, from what I understand. And so I want to get a cube that allows for that format. So I looked on Cube Cobra, which was where everyone posts all their cube lists. And there's a whole bunch of Commander cubes on there. Most of them are pretty large. I mean, you're talking about like 1,000 cards in a cube. But there are some for like 360 cards. I looked at one, I was like, this looks good. And it lists the price on there if you were to go to like tcgplayer.com and buy all these cards for the lowest price possible. The lowest price for that whole cube, 360 cards, was about like $8,000 or something like that. It's insane. And I was like, well, I guess I'm never getting a Commander Cube. But then I found out about this whole other community within the Magic community that are devoted and interested and do all this stuff with making proxy cards, or essentially fake Magic cards. And they go through a company called Make Plain Cards, MakePlainCards.com, based out of China. And Make Plain Cards doesn't really care about printing Magic cards for you. They'll do it. They have been growing a little bit stricter. Like, you can't have it... You can't have, like, the back of the card have an actual Magic back. They'll block that, apparently. And also there's something about having, like, copyright information on the card, so the art has to be adjusted a little bit at the bottom to remove the copyright info. But other than that, you know, they'll print as many Magic cards as you want. And they print them well. From what I have heard, I have yet to receive any, but from what I have heard, it's like basically indistinguishable if you're just looking at the card. You know, especially if they're in a card sleeve. And the people that are based around this kind of thing, this practice, they have made tools to facilitate this. They have made websites, they have made programs, And so it was all very streamlined now and very incredible. I was shocked. There's a site, I think it's called NPC Fill or something like that. And you take a list of cards, which you can just take from Cube Cobra, of a cube. Take 360 card list, you slap it into this site. It'll auto-populate all the cards. It'll bring up all the cards for you once you put in the list. And then it'll auto-populate it with art. Taken from all these different artists, all these people's, like, Google Drives. And this is official art, promo art, variant art, and custom art that people are just like, I want a Magic card that has some big-titted waifu on it or something. I'm going to make a card that says that, so they'll put that in there. And so for every card, you get a number of options that you could just flip through for each card to kind of pick which artwork you want for it, which one you like best. Some cards, there's only like, 6 or 7 choices. But for some cards, like basic lands, there's like 550 choices. And you just go through and you pick all the artwork you want for each card. And this is all like, perfect high-res art. Card art. Then you download this other program. And the website exports like an XML file with all the info on the stuff. The program downloads all the art you picked. And then it opens up a Chrome browser for you, which I didn't even know that this was possible. But it makes sense because, there's automated programs for like testing various features in Chrome and security stuff. So this program opens up a Chrome browser for you, goes to makeplayingcards.com, enters in like the settings for the deck you want, and then just starts uploading all the images and assigning them to different, slots. And it does the back of the cards as well, because some cards are double-sided. And then you can just click order, and you're done. Like, it was just incredible. So what would have cost me to buy authentically, like 8 or 9 grand, I got, with shipping from China, for $150. It's just insane. And obviously, there's some legal gray area there. But not really. I'm never going to try and sell these cards as authentic. I'm never going to sell these cards, really. I'm never going to take them into any sort of official event. This is just for playing with friends. So essentially, it's the same thing as me writing on a piece of paper, like, Black Lotus. And just being like, yep, I'm playing with the Black Lotus here. Like, it's basically the same thing. I mean, I would feel a little bad about kind of ripping off the company that makes Magic cards, but it's Wizards of the Coast. So, how bad are you really going to feel? So yeah, I've got... And it takes like a week or something, a week or so to get here. Like, it's just crazy. It's already been printed, it's shipped, it's on its way from China. So then I ordered a second set of cards, all basic lands with like different artwork. There's a whole set with like pixel artwork. They released this bundle, they're called Secret Lair Drops. So they released this set of pixel-based land cards. So it's land cards with this old school kind of pixel art on it. Looks really cool. And when they released it, they released one of each land in a bundle that cost $30. So you got 5 cards for $30, which is already outrageous. Nowadays, though, if you wanted to buy any of those cards on the open market, each one would cost you between like $20 to $30. So if you wanted the whole set, you're looking at least like $100. I got 20 of each of them for like $23. So yeah. Then I got a whole set of like the Bob Ross cards that they put out with like basic lands with Bob Ross art. And then I just got a whole bunch of just like full kind of promo cards, basic lands with like full card art that look awesome. So I got all that. It was about 395 cards for $100 with shipping. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this. Big fan of this now. Big fan. Next week we're doing our mansion trip weekend where a bunch of people come over to my house and stay. We do a bunch of gaming. If you ever wanted to get into Magic, you know what to do? Yeah, absolutely. Like, the price difference is just insane. I mean, I still recommend if you're just starting to, like, buy one of their, like, starter sets. You know, Magic does annual starter sets. I mean, that's just a good way to get started. But once you know what you're doing, yes, proxies are excellent. Like, if you want to play competitively Magic, like even at your local game store, and you want to make a competitive deck, the price of some of those cards, it's just stupid. Like dual lands, or, you know, some sort of, you know, different land cards, like special land cards that are just staples in pretty much everyone's deck because they're just good. They're just super good cards. I mean, those go $25 a pop easy. It's just ridiculous. So yeah. So we're doing gaming next weekend. There's a big debate going on. Mert really wants to play TI4. We haven't played it in like 2 years. And he always wins TI, so he really wants to play it. My other friend, though, he is very iffy about playing it just because he doesn't want to... He owns the expansion for some reason, while I own the base game. So we want to use his expansion, but he doesn't want to unpunch it. He doesn't want to set it up. And then if it's his expansion but my base game, we have to like intermingle cards and things like that. And then after the game we have to separate it, and he doesn't want to like set the whole thing up. It's just like this whole big time investment, and it's a long game and blah blah blah. So I don't know. I could go either way of stuff. I mean, we could just have 2 days of Magic. I'd be fine with that, but I don't think we're gonna do that. Yeah, so ambush is definitely a guaranteed death. I need to disable this mod post-haste. Die! Everything does so much damage. Why do you do this to me? Got him. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really know what we're gonna do. It has yet to be decided. Because we've got people that are only kind of like casually into board games. And then, even then, like, we're not even sure when or how long they're staying or anything like that. So you got some, you don't want to throw them into a game of TI4, but you don't want them to come over while we're in the middle. Like, we're 2 hours into a game of not Conan, TI. So I don't know. I'm on that Conan life. Yeah, this is the latest game we switched to, but I'm so far not that impressed. The combat is just so iffy to me. If it was like Elden Ring, I'd be devouring this game, but all it makes me want to do is just play Elden Ring, so I guess I'll just go do that. Yep. Alright, so yeah, Elden Ring and Triangle Strategy for the rest of this week. Variety stream on Wednesday, I'm thinking Soul Ash. Should be an interesting game to look at. Two Brothers play Anno 1800, most likely next Saturday. Over on the Exploring series, SCP-4242. And next week is the Bellerverse. So, plenty of stuff on the way. But for now, my name is Mangg. This has been Hanging with Mangg. I'll see you fine folks next week.